You know, for a series that's about a killer terrorizing a kid and his mother, it's taken an awful long time to get back to something even close to that. But boy, am I glad they did. What's going on, Dungeon Dwellers? Welcome back to Dave's Dungeon. Well, and that happened. We had the debut of Chucky the television series. Now, I know what you're thinking. David, this is 2020. We're not going to be scared of dolls. It's not happening. But I ask you, then why are you afraid of sounds? Hmm? Yeah. So, I don't want to really break this film. It's not a film, it's a television series, first off. That's just where we're going to distinguish it. I don't really want to break this down in a deep analysis because spoilers, and not everyone's going to get a chance to see it now. So I don't even really want to kind of leak the information, but I will give you a general review based on my feelings on this. Um, like I said in the sort of intro, it's taken them a long time to get back to the Chucky terrorizes Kid A story. It really has moved a long, long way from where it started. And there's a reason why the first film still holds up versus all the parade of nonsense that came afterwards. You know, even 2 and 3 are still pretty hardcore and pretty good, but after that it tends towards the slapstick. It tends towards the overt and the shocking, but really lacks what made the first 3 movies about Andy scary. You get what I'm saying? Andy was my avatar. He was that one kid out there who got the one defective toy that I was scared to death I was going to get. Okay? He was that one kid that had the rocket powered arm that shot off at ballistic trajectories. Okay? He's that cautionary tale. And I am so glad to see them getting back to that. The formula for Andy to come in and be a figure is also there, and the formula for all of it to matter is also there. So for those of you who are fans of the series, and for those of you who joined me today in watching so many Chucky films, like so many, there's a reason we only do it once a year, because Jesus, some of them later ones, some of they just they give me nightmares, and not for the right reasons. Okay, they're just awful, awful, and it's not any particular person's fault. They just don't deliver on what feels good in a horror film for me. But that being said, the show, oh yeah, we're going back there. And my modern complaint about horror is that it's all domestic stuff, but I was begging for that 20, 30 years ago, where it was like, God, can we keep it in the domestic, where, everything is scary to people who live and breathe and work and play, not it's not scary when the killer lives out in the woods. It's like, I haven't seen a wood, let alone woods. Okay? For a kid in a city, it's not really scary to have an all outdoors film. Halloween makes sense. It's an urban slasher. It's a where everyone lives, there's a guy loose trying to kill people. Chucky has to fill that same role. Same with Freddy, same with Jason. They all fulfill the monster let loose amongst suburbanites and urbanites, if you will. It's if you've ever seen the lion or the shadow in the, or what is it? It's a movie about two lions. I think it's called The Shadow and the Darkness. Geez, but it's that kind of like, oh, it's a threat let loose amongst the people. Um, Jesus, having to think back to that. That was Kurt Douglas and Val Kilmer. Jeez. Ugh. But it was supposedly based on a real event where a man is trying to get a railroad built, and these lions attack the people building it, and he's literally trying to get the lions killed when lion killed when he finds out there are two of them and that they're hunting together as partners and that they've got a taste for human flesh. And so now they are showing why they are the king of the savannah and we are not. That being said, this definitely feels like that. But because it's a television show, it's building to something. It's building up. It's long conning you in a way. It's got to play it slower, because if this were a movie, it would be, well, one murder, then the next, then the next, then the next, until the film ultimately resolves with half the town dead, like most horror films do. But this has to play this a lot more carefully, because you can't just start offing people. Like, the first episode has already had to deal with how that was going to come down. And I actually feel like it did a good job. Successful job. And that was a terrible waste of Gentleman Jack, but I'll allow it. That was a creative ass setup. That was so good. I appreciate that. 10 out of 10. Definitely my one for the week. Definitely my one for the week. But that being said, I don't really want to break it all the way down. He's looking a little thick, but I don't mind that. His old sort of dollishness isn't. He looking a little thick. He looking a little weird, a little chunky, but it's fine. New doll, fine. It's great. I like it. I don't know how much of the old stuff's gonna come rearing its head back with like Mika and Jennifer Tilly's character, Tiff, or any of the other people, but I did see a thing about Andy and maybe Kyle becoming something on the show. So that's something to look forward to. I hope they do keep what has been in canon, including, I'm guessing, Curse, which of all the Chucky films, I have not seen that one. You know, I've seen Seed, but I haven't seen, or no, not Curse, Cult. I've seen Curse, I haven't seen Cult. The one after everything that happened to Mika, which honestly is one of my favorite ones. You know, it's definitely in my top 3 of the series. Curse has definitely, it re-sparked my interest in the character in the series. So I'm really looking forward to this show week to week. And if they keep going, I might just do, a few episode reviews along the way and keep this going until they're done. So look out for these when they drop new episodes. I'll drop them on the channel and just kind of give y'all a heads up. I'll try not to spoil nothing. So if you're watching along, you'll know exactly what you're getting. But I had to give this, if I had to give it a little baby score, it'd be like a 4 out of 5. It definitely kind of piqued my interest in what it's going to do next. It got some problems out of the way. It delivered on what was solid horror when it needed to, and it's got me thinking about this sort of origin of how it's all coming together and how that got where it was and all sorts of things. So definitely check this one out. If you didn't get a chance to check it out today, I'm pretty sure they'll run a rerun probably tomorrow around the same time, probably later in the week as well. So, and who knows, Hulu may have it, given that they run TV time and all that jazz. So check this out. It was actually pretty good. And I'm going to say this. I much prefer this to what we got in the newest film. And for those of you who are going, wait, what? I'm talking about the, 2019, Mark Hamill doing the voice of Chucky film. And not because anything that they did was particularly wrong. It just didn't rise to the level of me getting involved with it and caring about it and retying, sort of the route. It felt like you were going the wrong direction. It went a little too crazy and too silly at times, where it kind of lost the plot of what was ultimately the series before it, and how it generated the horror is completely different than the new one did. And I just can't even get into how that Chucky's even alive, and how it's just programming and a halt. And I much prefer the sort of story they're going to tell here with the coming of rage story, which I got to give you, that's catchy. And that as a story writer and as somebody who appreciates stories and that moniker for the story, I fucking love that. Coming of rage versus coming of age. Bildungsroman, if you know anything about any literary analysis or the basics of what makes a story, sort of the hero's journey, there's all sorts of stuff to this that is really neat, really catchy, and I kind of like how they let him be an asshole at times. Because I feel like with a movie, he has to be about it. He has to do what he's doing and get away with it. With a show, he's got to be much more clever. He's got to be biting at times, and then agreeable and passive, and he has to play. You get what I'm saying? It's a lot less sadistic mass murderer just going on a rampage, gonna slash everybody. Less mindless mechanic that just went off the rails and decided it was gonna hurt somebody. More the personal tormentor, more the just that evil, maniacal thing that is both helping you in some ways, and that makes you want to keep it around and keep it safe and work with it and do what it wants. But at the same time, this thing's going to bite you, and you don't necessarily want to be bitten, but now it's got you. It's at least got its claws in you. But anywho, Chucky told me no spoilers, so I can't include a spoiler section. I'm not getting stabbed tonight because they saw my video and decided to send me one in a box. That's where the series has been, and I ain't testing it, so no spoilers. No spoilers for anyone else. If the series goes on, we'll put a spoiler section in, but that'll be for a discussion section after we give a review of the general, as per always. So you'll have every opportunity to back out, not have any kind of spoiler stuff going on. So, but no further ado, no more. I think I'm done for the evening, and it feels good to be done by like 10 versus 5 in the morning or 6. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. Hopefully you're going to check out Chucky, and hopefully you're going to watch it week to week with me. Hopefully you're going to stick around, because this seems like this is going to be good. And hopefully you got to see the teaser, so you know a little bit of what's coming on too. But that's going to do it for this review. Hopefully we get to do more of these, and hopefully this show actually turns out to be something worth reviewing. For now it is. But thank you so much. If you would, leave a like if you enjoyed this. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully I didn't just ramble at you and you're like, great, thanks, I'll go watch that now, and then you never come back or watch it. Hopefully that's not what happens. But make sure you subscribed if you did. I really appreciate it, and so does the channel. Because for every new subscriber I get, that just shows YouTube, hey, this guy's actually worth showing to people. Because that's a situation that never gets old or any less scary. Thanks for joining me on these journeys, you spooky, spooky bastards. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're doing well. I look forward to seeing you on our next adventures. Till then, check under your bed, 'cause that mother is around.